So just thought I'd make a short video showing you canning and the processes involved. You guys seemed a little bit interested, so hopefully you like. Sweet. So I've got little jars and big jars in here. And let's put that on. All right. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to do 8 small jars. I'm going to do 6 big jars, like 1 liter big jars. So for that, I've got 2 bags of carrots, a kilo of meat that I've got to cut up. I've got 14 jars, so I've got essentially enough to put 1 OXO cube per jar. This is just what I like, by the way. Then some garlic. I've got to boil up some soup, some like beans blend, just because I like beans and peas and that sort of thing. Celery, onions, a big bag of potatoes. So basically what we've got over here is a bunch of containers to put the chopped goods in. That's a special canning funnel, which I'll show you a bit later. And then measuring jug. And then here is the pot. And for scale, there you go. It's big. And then over here, I'm going to be using this to cook my beans, mostly because I want to make sure that I can drain the bean water rather than having it in my jars. Don't have to, but that's what I'm doing. This is just for my recipe for today. Next time my recipe will change because nothing's written down. People literally use the canning device to sterilize water, and I've used it to sterilize agar to make bacteria culture and mycelium culture. So this is just what I want to put in. People put in fruit, beans, just meat, just potatoes, just onions, just carrots, just celery, just water, anything. Whatever it is, it'll be sterilized and it'll be like sealed, and it'll be good for a number of years. So this is what I'm putting in, and I'll show you how it goes. Oh, I forgot to mention, you need an appropriate kitchen knife. I think this one should do. Two liters of water. Let's get that to boil. Cutting off the ends. Last time we didn't peel the carrots. This time I thought I would peel the carrots. You can do it without peeling them, but it does leave the carrots, the skin kind of goes a little bit of a brownie color, which doesn't bother me, doesn't change the flavor as far as I know. Just thought I'd try without this time. Cool, so there's our carrots. Got a few extra left over for dinner. There's the peels for the compost bin. And now it's celery. I've just got the 2 packs, half of that's for dinner, and so just give that a wash. So a lot of potatoes. I'm gonna wash and peel them and then cube them. So all the potatoes all cleaned. Now to peel them. This is where it would be good to do it as a group, because you can actually chat to each other, and I'm sure Clive would appreciate that. Peeling potatoes is an arduous process. I'm just kidding, Clive. I don't even know if you can eat potatoes. Sweet, the beans are boiling. Give them 10 minutes and then we'll simmer them for 70. Right, 5 kgs of potatoes later. I've got the good ones there, lined up to be chopped. Next is the onions. Celery, done. So yeah, this makes it a heck of a lot easier. And as you can see, you can just kind of like can consistently slice far faster than I can. Of course, it's just waiting for my fingers, and it'll no doubt take some blood sooner or later. But anyways. Cool. So next step's getting this ready. So get some olive oil. Make sure that the seal has got some, because I didn't last time and it struggled to seal. Pour 3 liters of water in the bottom. And as you can see, that's where the pots are going to sit, and there's just like a little bit of water in the bottom. It's probably 1.5 inches. Apparently adding in a little bit of vinegar stops the aluminium pot from getting too marked. Should be right. Okay, so these are the seals. I've got 2 boxes because I'm needing 14 of them. I've got 14 rims as well. These are washed and just make sure that there's no rust in them. So I don't know if you can see, there's some rust just on the inside there, just up there. So I'm going to discard that one. And then these seals, I'm boiling some water, and there's 14 seals in there, and this like pink gummy stuff just apparently works better if you chuck in some warm water, not boiling but warm. I've still got to fill the jars up, so it's going to take quite a while for me to do that, and I'm hoping that my pot of boiling water that's boiling now will be warm in half an hour when I'm ready to put the lids on. So that's the plan. And here's the freshly washed jars ready to go. So let's actually start putting stuff in it. Cool. So I generally just lay out the jars like this, and then just take one ingredient at a time, chuck it in there, and try and spread it out so it's evenish. Okay, so like 10 seconds, 30 seconds, and carrots are done. And that's pretty much how it goes for the rest of it. We've got all of our ingredients in, except for our OXO cubes and extras. I've smushed everything down because it needs to have what's called headspace, and this here actually sets up your headspace. So the level of the food needs to be well below the bottom of this, and this is specially set up for headspace for these jars. So that there, for example, you know, that's touching the bottom. That needs to be like smushed down and made to be well below. And so if you have a look there, we've got headspace now. So yeah, once you smush it down, I'm going to chuck an OXO cube, and I'm going to fill up the rest until there's just the headspace left. Cool, so pretty much packed everything in, and now just chucking in some water and filling it up, making sure that it doesn't ever reach that head space that I was telling you about before. And that's still well below, that's good. And the next one, once we've done this, you have to go back through and make sure that all the air bubbles are out. Usually just with a knife or something. But yeah, this one's got heaps of air bubbles. And pretty much do this all the way around. Cool. So basically everything's in here. I've also chucked in some corn flour because that way you can thicken it up. Now in order to make a seal, what you do is you get some vinegar and you need to like wipe the jar lids, the jar edges. And the idea there is you're just going to cut through any fat and grease from or oils. And then what you do is you grab one of your lids that are sitting in warm water, and if they're not difficult, you pop that on there, just like that. Grab a ring, pop this on, and it says finger tight. Okay, so I literally just put it on, and then you don't strain too hard. So then that's all the food in there, goes straight in to the pot, and then we do the next one. So grab a bit of this, clean the edge, particularly that seal, because you really need this pink stuff, that stuff there, to make the seal. Pop it on, make sure it's centered as best as you're able. Put the lid on, finger tight. You don't want to like cram it on, because if you do, it can pressurize in there and pop, and it doesn't form as good a seal. So yeah, I'll do the rest of them. Cool, so just going to pop the last of these in, and you can see the tops are up, and this just goes in here. And you're supposed to put them alternating like that. And like that. Cool. So there's 14 jars in there, and 6 of them are 1 liters and 8 are half liters, which is a single serve. From there, pretty much put the lid on and boil it. Cool. So the pot's boiling away, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's steaming out the top there. Pop that on, and the pressure valve over there will actually pop up when there's enough pressure inside, sealing it off. And then we can start building some actual pressure. So that valve's popped, and this one's hissing slightly, and you'll see that the pressure is starting to rise. I'll show you when we hit 15 psi. Cool, so that's 15 pounds of pressure, and now we start the countdown. 90 minutes, 90, and then it'll be done. So just reducing the heat to try and maintain that poundage, and if it drops down to 11 or 12 pounds, I'd be alright with that as well. So yep, cool. So hour and a half's gone by, and it's over 15 psi, and you can tell because it starts rocking, and as well the gauge. This is turned off, and you just let it cool down and the pressure subside. Once it gets down to 0, you wait for 10 minutes and then open it up, and we'll see what we see. Sweet, it's pretty much finished. And you can pull this out. Just pop them out to the side, and as they cool, yeah, they're still damn close to boiling. Oof, yeah, but that top there is starting to suck down. So yeah, see how it goes. I don't know if you can see that, but it's still boiling in there. Most of them are still boiling in there. So these are thoroughly cooked. And these lids, you'll see they're starting to suck down. And that is sign of a seal, which is pretty cool. Alright, that's pretty much it. Done.